The Secretariat of the Party Central Committee held a conference to disseminate and implement Resolution number 79 and Resolution number 80 of the Politburo.
U.S. President Donald Trump delivers 2026 State of the Union Address.
Early year herring bumper crop brings joy to coastal fishermen.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first episode of the show. On the morning of February 25th, the Central Party Secretariat disorganized a national conference to study, learn, and understand and implement the Resolution number 79 of the Politburo on the development of the state economy and the Resolution number 80 of the Politburo on the development of Vietnamese culture. The General Secretary Tô Lâm just attended and delivered a keynote address at the conference.
The conference is organized in person at the National Assembly's Dien Hong Hall and connected to 27,284 sites nationwide, attracting more than 2 million participants. Within the framework of the program, delegates were briefed on the core contents of Resolution number 80 on cultural development and Resolution number 79 on the state economic sector. In his keynote address at the conference, General Secretary Tô Lâm emphasized that the two resolutions represent parallel sets of tasks and form a unified, complementary, and intertwined developmental structure. The resolution on the state economy generates the material resources for the country to maintain stability, master major economic balances, and enhance national self-reliance. The resolution on cultural development creates the spiritual resources to cultivate and affirm the discipline and endogenous strength of the nation.
On the evening of February 24th local time, the U.S. President Donald Trump just delivered his State of the Union address at the Capitol, the first of his second time under the theme, America 250 Years, Strong, Prosperous, and Respected.
But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity
In his address, President Trump devoted significant time to defend his tariff policies. He also recounted the airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear capabilities, the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, and recent measures regarding Venezuela. However, his foreign policy remains a subject of debate, particularly concerning relations with NATO and his approach toward Russia. Against the backdrop of an increasingly polarized American electorate, this year's State of the Union was not only a summary of White House achievements, but also a critical political test. The upcoming midterm election results are projected to determine the level of support for President Trump's agenda through the remainder of his term.
Deputy Chair of the Security Council of the Russian Federation just warned that Moscow would launch a nuclear response if NATO countries provide nuclear weapons to Ukraine.
Speaking to RT on February 24th, Dmitry Medvedev commented on reports released by Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, alleging that London and Paris are secretly arming Ukraine with nuclear weapons, a move Moscow views as an exceptionally grave escalation. Dmitry Medvedev argued that any intent to transfer nuclear capabilities to Ukraine would completely alter the landscape of the conflict. According to the SVR, UK and French officials are considering the clandestine transfer of European-made components, equipment, and technology related to nuclear weapons to Ukraine, while simultaneously preparing an information campaign to frame these capabilities as domestically developed by Ukraine to mislead public opinion.
Upcoming are some updates and news.
France's public investment bank, BPI France, has recently ranked Vietnam among the 5 most promising export destinations for French companies in 2026, alongside Indonesia, Morocco, Canada, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. The strongest prospects for French firms lie in higher value-added products. According to BPI France, an effective export strategy in 2026 should look beyond over-reliance on traditional partners and actively pursue destinations demonstrating clear demand and long-term growth potential. Vietnam, with its robust economic momentum and extensive global integration, is considered one of the most noteworthy destinations in this trend.
At the beginning of the new year, recruitment activity is buzzing across industrial zones such as VSIP Nghệ An, Nam Cam, Bac Vin, WHA Industrial Zone, and Hoàng Mai. A flurry of job openings for garment workers, electronics assemblers, food processors, mechanical technicians, accountants, and line managers is being posted continuously on bulletin boards, social media, and job exchange platforms. Many companies have even organized recruitment live streams to introduce benefit policies and income levels, as well as to answer workers' inquiries. This simultaneous large-scale recruitment drive at the start of the year reflects the determination of Nghệ An's business community to make a breakthrough as the economy gradually recovers.
According to the Nghệ An Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism, the province experienced a significant surge in visitors during the 9-day Lunar New Year holiday. The province welcomed an estimated 367,000 visitors, including 185,000 overnight stays. Total tourism revenue reached approximately 505 billion VND. Notable highlights include Ong Hoang Moi Temple, which welcomed nearly 120,000 visitors. Ho Chi Minh Square and the Uncle Ho statue attracted nearly 50,000 visitors. Kim Lian Special National Relic Site, along with Emperor Quang Trung Temple, saw nearly 20,000 arrivals. Furthermore, ecotourism, resort destinations, and community-based tourism sites also drew large crowds seeking sightseeing and experiential activities.
A bountiful herring harvest at the start of the year, coupled with smooth sails, has brought immense joy and sparked hope for the coastal fishermen of Nghệ An province during their first voyages of the season. These nets full of fish do not just provide a good income, they also motivate fishermen to stay committed to the sea, praying for a year of smooth sailing and prosperity. More in the story today.
Around 7 a.m., the beaches of northern Nghệ An come alive with the sounds of fishermen calling out to one another while clearing their nets. One after another, small coastal boats head back to shore. Fresh, silver-scaled herrings are quickly sorted and sold on the spot. Even though it is only the start of the season, this year's yields are quite abundant. Many families are earning a significant income after each trip to sea. I caught 70 kilo of fish today. On a regular day, I usually make about 1 million VND, but today alone, I earned 2 million VND from the catch.
Fish prices this year are higher than last year. Last year, it was only 20,000 VND per kilo, but this year it has risen to 40,000 VND.
Herring are usually found in nearshore waters. The fishing season lasts from the first lunar month until around August. In previous years, the fish weren't very plentiful right after Tet. This year, however, large schools of fish have appeared since the very start of the season. As a result, the locals return with a good catch after every trip to sea. This job is really tough. We head out to sea at 1 a.m. and don't get back to shore until 7 a.m. Some days we catch a whole quintal of fish, which makes us so happy. After Tet, many families are eager for seafood, making herring more popular than ever. With rising demand, the buying and selling process is very smooth. Right on the beach, traders wait in line to gather the catch and transport it to other provinces. I buy the fish and send it to many places from Vinh to northern provinces like Lao Cai and Yên Bai, and even down to the southern provinces. The joy of this early year herring harvest is filling fishermen with hope for a favorable season ahead, with calm seas and gentle winds, bringing them a more prosperous and stable life.
The last story just ended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.